Located in the heart of the city, St. Paul's Church is part of a cluster of heritage buildings. The Pune railway station is walking distance, and so are the government administrative buildings. It is located right behind the office of the police commissioner and adjacent to the GPO.
Denomination. There was already one church in the Pune area, and that was St. Mary's Church, which is a garrison church for the British soldiers. But as the Christian community grew in Pune, several civilian British government officers and their families were posted here, and they were posted particularly for the Post and Telegraph department and also for the railways. And so there was a need felt, because the St. Mary's Church is for the British soldiers, made by the British Army, but these were civilian government officials, and they were requesting.
Consecrated on 5th March 1867, the foundation stone of the church was laid in 1863 by His Excellency Sir Henry Frere, the Governor of Bombay. It is designed on the lines of French Saint-Chapel in Paris. The features of the Gothic architecture, like the bell tower, the unique cross, and the gargoyles, are visible from a distance. These gargoyles that we see today are actually very young.
Then also around this whole edge of the church, there is a gutter, and there were those gargoyles. Now some of them were all deteriorating, and the problem was that there was plants over there also which had come. One plant is inside the church. Okay, so what we did at that time was we took out all those stones on the top where the gutter was. We took out the gargoyles. We made all new ones with a bigger throat. All those gargoyles were redone according to those old ones, put in the same format and all that.
The porch was made after the church was ready to facilitate the movement of the gentry during stormy monsoon times. Gentlemen could drive right to the main gate.
As we enter the church, we have here one chapel. It's called the side chapel in our normal reference, but actually it's the chapel of St. Mary. That's the name of the chapel.
The vast congregation hall, with a 50 feet high ceiling and no pillars, is very spacious and open. The altar is visible from all corners of the hall and also from outside through a line of doors along the walls. As the Reverend Father Jacob put it, the church with open doors.
Preaching of God's word, the pulpit, that is on the side. If you go to other Christian denomination churches like Presbyterians or Baptists, you will find the pulpit in the center of the church, where they give more emphasis on the preaching of God's word. So what I want to say is that the interior setting also depends a lot on what is emphasized in their Christian faith and belief, So
the most unique feature of the church is the magnificent screen behind the altar, a gift from the Bishop of Bombay in memory of his wife Lucy. It also causes confusion at times for a first-time visitor.
Another beautiful thing we see at the altar, which is an ornamental screen at the back of the altar, which is called a reredos. It's made of marble, and above the reredos is a beautiful two stained glass windows, one depicting the resurrection of Jesus, of Christ, and the other depicting the ascension of Christ. The reredos also, this ornamental screen made of marble, also depicts the ascension of Christ. But basically this is just to enhance the beauty of the place of worship. It is to enhance the awe of the mystery of our faith and our worship of God. So
the original stained glass windows melted in the fire of 1900. The current windows were put up as part of the restoration.
The stained glass windows, so I think one of the most beautiful. You can even, if you go closer, you can see even the veins on the body. You can see the intricate details, beautiful.
The original pipe organ, which was installed in 1881, was destroyed in the fire, and the organ that we see today was installed in 1910 on the St. Peter's Day. The church, no doubt, is very
Organ,
proud.
because of its history, at that time when these churches were built, this was an important instrument for use. Of course, in those days, they have the bellows behind, and in fact, if we go from the side, we can see those bellows, which they have children. In fact, small children who could go inside, and they would press the bellows, pump the bellows, so that air would pass through, and then the person playing, the organist, would play.
Today, it is probably the only church in Pune with a live working pipe organ, which provides a melodious start for the services, even though it is not working at full potential, as a few pipes have been sent to England for repairs. Fires are not uncommon in Pune. Even the house of God is not spared. This vintage structure was almost brought down completely by the big fire that had started on the noon of 5th July 1900. Among the valuables lost was the precious pipe organ and the priceless stained glass windows.
The symbolisms of Christian faith from the ancient time, from the early church. So we have what is in Greek, the letters alpha, the first letter, and the last omega. And that is what it symbolizes, Jesus, because in the Holy Bible, Christ in Revelation says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end.
Before leaving this vintage structure, it was time to ask the custodian of the church on his reasons to like the church.
Facing the congregation, the altar table aspect is very dear to my heart. And also I find something, this pulpit is quite beautiful in the sense it is, you have this feeling of coziness in this place. People are closer to each other in the sense that even to be at the pulpit and preach, I feel that people are so close and I can be able to speak right closely to them, rather than being very far away and things. So just my own personal feeling and thoughts on this.
The admin